Peace and panhandling, peace and panhandling, peace and panhandling. Hey, today we got another video from Umar Johnson. He dropped another interview on the art of dialogue. And in this clip, they got into the attempted assassination of Donald Trump. And in true Umar Johnson fashion, he told some lies and we're going to get right into it. Let's go.
Yeah, I can see that. But I got to ask you about Trump. How you feel about his assassination attempt?
I believe the Donald Trump assassination attempt was completely staged, completely fabricated, and completely artificial. And I'm going to tell you why. Whenever there is a state execution, there's always a backup killer. JFK had a backup killer. Dr. King had a backup killer. Every time they want to take somebody out, there's a backup killer. If the first shooter missed, the second shooter hit. They leave nothing to chance. You're not going to convince.
That's not always true. There was no backup shooter with the Ronald Reagan situation. There was only one guy. Ronald Reagan got hit and survived. So what is he talking about?
It's me that somebody wanted to kill Donald Trump here in Pennsylvania on July 13th while Kamala Harris was downtown Philadelphia on the campaign trail.
What does that have to do with anything? Philadelphia is in eastern Pennsylvania. Butler, Pennsylvania is in western Pennsylvania. I know Butler is only like 45, 50 minutes from my house. I live in Ohio, but it's only 45, 50 minutes from my house. I could drive there right now. What does that have to do with what happened in Butler? She's basically on the East Coast and he's in the Midwest.
And it was a lone 20-year-old on a roof. This is what they want you to believe. A 20-year-old nerd got up on the roof with no help, no support, no comrades, and tried to take out former President Donald Trump.
Look at all the school shooters, right? I'm not going to put their pictures up or anything like that, but look at all the school shooters. They're all unassuming nerd types, pretty much. They don't look like monsters. They don't look like that's somebody that's going to shoot up something. Now, I do believe that something kind of fishy went down at the Trump assassination, but I also believe that Umar Johnson has no clue as to what he's talking about.
You know what that sounds like, Art? That sounds exactly like the story they gave us of the Dr. King assassination. What did they tell us? It
sounds exactly nothing like
James Earl Ray acted alone, climbed up in the building, and shot Dr. King above a grassy knoll.
Oh my God. Oh my God. He said James Earl Ray climbed up in a building and shot Martin Luther King over a grassy knoll. No, that is not what happened. That is not what the government claims happened anyways. The government claims happened. James Earl Ray was renting a room in the flop house across the street from the motel where Dr. King was staying. And that he shot him from a bathroom window. Not over a grassy knoll. He's getting that confused with JFK. Right? Now, there's also some fishy things about that situation too.
We believed that story for a quarter of a century until what happened, Art? The late Queen Mother Coretta Scott King, God rest her soul, and her children, Dr. King's children, and their white lawyer, William Pepper, sued in U.S. court and proved in court. This is official record, Art. Anybody can check it out. Dr. King was assassinated by the U.S. government. James Earl Ray had nothing to do with it.
That's absolutely not true. So what happened was the King family did sue the United States government and win in civil court. They won $100. They just wanted to prove that the FBI had something to do with Dr. King being shot and killed. That doesn't mean James Earl Ray didn't have something to do with it. And not to mention, in civil court, the bar is lower. The burden of proof is lower in civil court than it is in criminal court.
Dr. King was assassinated by the U.S. government. James Earl Ray had nothing to do with it, so much so that Dr. King's family tried to help James Earl Ray get out of jail. They knew he was so innocent, Art. They tried to help him get out of jail. But when you go to the National Civil Rights Museum in Memphis, when you go to the National Civil Rights Museum in Memphis, where Dr. King was murdered, because, you know, they turned that hotel into the National Civil Rights Museum. Best museum in the country, by the way. But when you go there, what does the information still say in the museum? James Earl Ray shot Dr. King across the street up in that window, even though it's already been proven in court that the FBI and the U.S. military killed Dr. King. Dr. King was assassinated by a sharpshooter from the Memphis Police Department. A sharpshooter from the Memphis Police Department, and the Green Berets of the U.S. Army was the backup shooters.
No.
The Green Berets of the U.S. Army were the backup shooters. That's who killed Dr. King, not James Earl Ray.
No. I'm going to tell you what. Right here. I'm not a sniper by any stretch of the means of the word, or whatever you want to say. I'm not a sharpshooter. I'm not a sniper. I was in the U.S. Army. I did do the basic training with the M16 and everything, and, you know, had to shoot there. I do shoot guns on a regular. But if it would have been a government trained shooter, they're probably not going to they're probably going to aim center mass, or if they do go for a headshot, it's going to be right here in this T zone, because this is the kill zone right here. Okay. Dr. King was hit here, kind of like right here, because he was actually kind of like leaned over looking down. He was hit here in the jaw and broke his jaw and came out his neck. And I think it severed his spine, but he wasn't dead. That's not a kill shot. He wasn't dead. He was still alive at the hospital. Rumor is some guys in suits at the hospital came in and pulled his life support and his respirators and everything, and that's what really killed him. Okay? So, no, it wasn't a government-trained shooter. And why would they use Green Berets? Why would they use the Army? The CIA, the FBI have their own snipers. Usually, when the government takes out somebody, they don't use their own people. They get somebody else to do it. Just like when they do an assassination overseas somewhere, they don't do it themselves. They try to use other people to do it so they can have deniability. That's just the way the government works. I'm not saying it's right or anything.
Right. And now here they running the same playbook. Look at it. Same playbook. A 20-year-old nerd climbed up on the roof and shot President Trump. And let me get this right. National Security Agency couldn't see him. CIA couldn't see him. Secret Service couldn't see him. FBI couldn't see him. Homeland Security couldn't see him.
People saw him.
Come on, man. Y'all got satellites that could spot a fly on the ground. So you got...
See, people, this is where he's wrong again. People actually saw this kid up on the roof before he started shooting. Even one of the snipers, one of the Secret Service snipers, saw him right before he started shooting. Police saw him right before he started shooting. Do you see all the cameras out there aimed at that rooftop? And if you notice, before he started shooting, they said there's somebody up there with a rifle. People saw him. It was just a lapse in the Secret Service.
Satellites that can spot a mosquito on the wall. But y'all couldn't spot a 20-year-old nerd with a rifle on the roof. Who's believing that? And then check it out, Art. When Donald Trump allegedly gets hit in the ear, If you that close, you pop off again with a second shot. If you hit him that close, you popping off with a second shot. Why didn't he use a semi-automatic to begin with?
See, wrong again. He did use a semi-automatic, and he let off a total of 8 shots, killing one person, hitting the president in the ear, and then severely injuring 2 other people, at least. So once again, Umar's wrong. And since we're on that subject, he's using an AR type rifle. That's what I was trained on in the military. That shot that he took at President Trump former President Trump is very lucky to be alive, because everybody in the Army, and it's probably the Marines as well, has to make that exact shot at that exact range. You have to make it to pass Army basic training. It's 150 yards with the AR. You have to make it with the AR. I don't know if this guy had a scope or what, but think about it. For this to be faked, if he shot former President Trump in the ear, 1 inch over is going in the eye. That's a kill shot. Hell, he doesn't even have to go a whole inch over for it to be a kill shot. And if he doesn't turn his head when he does, that's aiming at his temple. That's coming at his temple. You notice, like, as soon as he turns his head, it hits him as soon as he turns his head.
But here's the other question. Why didn't they cover Donald Trump's head?
They did.
So somebody wanted to take you out. You just got shot in the ear, and your head is still up, not because you walk down the steps
That's
with
not
your
what
head
happened.
exposed. Come on, Art. Who do you know? Listen, if you in the hood and somebody shoot, what's the first thing you do? Duck down. In the hood, you're going to duck down. So you running for president of the United States. You just got shot in your ear, and they still leave your head exposed almost the entire time he was on the rostrum, going down the steps, and Donald Trump even stood up and put a fist and
Once again, not telling the truth there. That is not what happened. Don't believe me? Let's find out.
It's the first assassination attempt of a president in more than 40 years.
It goes down right there.
He was immediately surrounded by
Covered up by Secret Service.
His ear bloodied. By 6:13.
Look, that's all Secret Service. Donald Trump is on the ground. Right here. They're on top of him. He's on the ground. They're covering him, while the counter snipers are firing back. Once again, Umar is wrong. I don't know how y'all still follow this dude. Like, y'all still be giving him money and stuff. Oh, by the way, hey, don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you're new. Hit that bell icon. Hey, while you're at it, give your boy a thumbs up. Help me push this video out. Help YouTube recognize that this video needs to get out. Now, while we're talking real quick, also just discovered Umar actually scammed a school, a all black boys school that's ran by King Randall. Scammed him for like a little over $3,000. What happened was he was supposed to speak for him, so they gave him a deposit of like $2,500 plus airfare, right? Well, he canceled on them the day before. Wouldn't refund them the money at all. I guess just totally ghosted them. Wouldn't return any messages for like a month. Yeah. If you're a fan of Lynn and Honor and you ain't seen that video, go over to this channel and check that out.
shook his fist like this. Bull crap. Bull crap. That was a state-sponsored artificial assassination attempt. And the question is, why did they do it? I'm going to tell you why I think. This is my early assessment. Somebody got the drop that the power structure was going to tell Joe Biden to bow out.
Wrong.
Somebody got the drop because the assassination attempt was a few days ago. Biden just stepped down. Somebody in the Republican elite got the drop that Biden was going to step down. So they artificially created this assassination attempt to do what? Increase Donald Trump's popularity with the American people.
Wrong. Donald Trump was already popular with the American people. Think about it. They didn't need to stage an assassination attempt where somebody actually died. Not the shooter, he died, but an innocent person actually died shielding his family. Why would they do that? They didn't need to. They already were the more popular vote over Biden, over Kamala Harris, or anybody that's running right now for the Democrats.
This man survived an assassination attempt. How can you not vote for him? He's the people's champ. He doesn't represent the power structure. He doesn't represent the establishment. He doesn't represent the elite. He doesn't represent the shadow government. Donald Trump.
Oh, yeah. And by the way, Joe Biden stepping down was a result of the assassination attempt. Because, all right, like I said, Donald Trump was already popular. And then this happened. It's like, okay, I know what I thought when I heard about it. Hey, okay, well, he's going to win anyways. Might as well just go ahead and inaugurate him now. That's what I thought. That's what ran through my head. Yeah, he's definitely a shoo-in to win now.
Represents the people. If he didn't, why would they try to kill him? That was a publicity stunt for popularity because they knew Biden was stepping down.
Hey, if you believe that's a publicity stunt, you probably also believe that Suge Knight had Tupac killed while he sat next to him in the same car and got shot up. Come on.
And they need Donald Trump to be able to take on and win against Kamala or whoever the Democratic Party anoints in Biden's absence. That was complete publicity stunt. And now he walking around with a diaper on his ear. He ain't got a concern in the world. You see him? He using the assassin. I took a bullet for my country. That's what I took a bullet for my country. That's exactly why they did it. That was one of the best campaign stunts, popularity schemes I ever seen in my life. They don't miss when they shoot. Don't nobody miss when they shoot presidents. And also, Art,
actually, yeah, they do. There's been 7 attempted presidential assassinations. They missed. Hell, Reagan's shooter actually missed his kill shot. He still hit Reagan in the body, but he tried to kill him. He didn't kill him.
Keep in mind, we only had 6 presidential assassination attempts. 3 of them was on Friday.
7. Gerald Ford, there was 2 attempts on Gerald Ford.
3 of them is on Saturday. Why is Friday and Saturday the only time you can shoot at U.S. presidents? Because the order must be coming up from a high place that we don't see.
And you made a good point on your IG Live, because I caught half of it where you were speaking on, Trump and how, they try to assassinate him. And you made a good point when you brought up Obama.
Nobody shot at him. More death threats. Barack Obama received more death threats probably than all other presidents in American history put together, and nobody never shot at him.
Do you really believe Barack Obama received more death threats than Abraham Lincoln? I don't think so.
Donald Trump, as popular as he is, gets shot at? I'm not buying it. He didn't even duck. If Donald Trump feared for his life, he would have been on the ground, Art. Who do you know still standing? Who do you know still standing up? And somebody just popped him. I'm on the ground. I'm crawling. In fact, I'm not even moving.
He definitely went to the ground.
Lay on top of me. They would have threw him on the ground, laid on him, rolled him over. He's not walking down the steps with his head up, pumping a fist. Publicity stunt. See, the problem is people don't know how thorough the National Security Agency is. They don't know how thorough CIA, FBI. They don't know how thorough. See, you got to remember now, America assassinates more heads of state.
The Secret Service is thorough, huh?
Was there a conspiracy to kill President Trump?
Absolutely not.
Then how did this happen? And why are you still sitting here not turning in your letter of resignation?
Last question, but please answer, and then I'll recognize Mr. Presley. Please answer the question.
That is what we are investigating to determine.
We're waiting for your letter. We're waiting for your letter of resignation. And you really need to consider doing that before you leave today.
Than any government on earth. America kills people on the regular. They don't see, you got to remember now, America assassinates more heads of state than any government on earth.
True.
America kills people on the regular.
True.
They don't mess up when they do it, and they damn sure not going to mess up at all. Come on, man.
Think about it. When America kills foreign leaders abroad, they usually don't do it themselves. They usually use somebody else. That way they have plausible deniability. That's the name of the game, plausible deniability. They don't do it themselves. Of course not. Unless they can find somebody to label them a terrorist and send a drone over. Hey, I appreciate each and every one of you. I'm out.